Let's get into it, everybody. It is March 4th. I'm actually doing a solo episode this week because I got a lot going on. I got a lot that recently went down, and I want to share that. I want to talk it out, and there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. With that being said, guys, everything's going really good on this end. We'll be talking about it, but graduate school applications came out. Decisions, I should say, came out. And those are looking absolutely fantastic. It looks like I might be going to Tempe, Arizona. But with that being said, we can talk about that a little more. Let's get into it.
Mother, may I open my eyes? 'Cause there's a great big world waiting right outside. Mother, may I raise my voice? Do we the people have that choice? Mother, may I rest my head? Though I did not try my best. Mother, may I sip the wine?
I don't want to turn it off.
Though I did not tend the vine.
Yeah, and I wanted to start it with that song because something about that kind of music, that song in particular, just takes me into the inner capsules of my medulla oblongata. Gives me a little time to take inventory of what's going on mentally for me, especially in times like this where a lot's happening, a lot's coming to close, a lot's coming to fruition. And a song like that, man, will just take you deep, deep, deep into the inner capsules of that oblongata, and it is a beautiful experience. It's not an easy experience, right? It's not an easy journey down, and it's sure as hell not an easy journey out. And it's also not a lonely experience, right? Down there, I encounter, different versions of myself, right? So I have the emotional side, the emotional HK, and this emotional HK is a little more dainty than I am, right? His limbs are a little more slender, not as much mass, maybe a little more body fat, and he's got a little glint of light that goes around him. Another example would be the primitive HK. So you run into the primitive HK. He's very hairy. He's hairy in places he probably shouldn't be, right? In the neck area, oh God, it's terrible. But you just got to let him be him because that is that part of myself, right? And I get together with all these different versions of myself and we just talk it out, right? We talk it out and it's a beautiful experience. Yeah. There's a lot going on, man. Songs like that carry a lot of weight when stuff's getting real serious like this. What's going on with me, man? Recently, I just got accepted into Arizona State graduate programs. It was biology at first, but now it's environmental life sciences because I was able to switch. So I got accepted into both, but I'm switching to ELS, and I'm going to be doing astrobiology research. I'm going to be studying what I love to do every single day, and that is explore the possibilities of life in the universe. So, it's so exciting. It's so rewarding for me because I've been running for a long time. The last couple of years I've been grinding probably a little too hard sometimes to the point where, I got stressed out to a very, very serious extent. I have a lot of other stuff going on and just a big thing, man, trying to figure out where you're going to go, where I'm going to be living. It's been an interesting ride, but getting that letter today was amazingly rewarding. This is my mental image of what happened and how this all came to an end is I felt like I was running with my head down for 2 years. And this morning when I got that email, it was like someone walked up to me while I was running and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, you can take a break right here, man. You can get up." And I just look up and I feel like I'm just gasping for air, but I'm finally relaxing just a little bit. And I am getting that urge to keep running. Because I've been doing it for so long, but I know I need to pull the reins back and really just enjoy this moment and take it in and use this new free time and relaxation to spend time with family and loved ones, because I don't know if that's something I've been doing very well recently. So, yeah, man, that's amazing. It's been an amazing ride. It's an amazing experience to be able to get that this morning. And I can't really it's hard to put into words because there is so much effort and grind that's gone into this process. Yeah. What else is going on? These last couple weeks have been crazy. We had our organization just brought in 13 young, amazing, beautiful men, and I was kind of the usher for these guys. I was the anchor and the guider, the shaman, if you will. And it went so much better than I could have imagined. Oh God, these guys are amazing, and the fact that I've been in this organization for 4 years now, and this is kind of the capstone to that experience, it just feels only right. So yeah, I'm excited to see the potential in these guys. Joining an organization like that, like this, changes your world, and it for a lot of people, it gives you a lot of opportunity to be a leader and be someone that you never thought you could, because of the support and the ability, the opportunity to get in leadership roles, to see where your skills are and see where your opportunity is. So yeah, that's been a beautiful experience that I actually just capped off Saturday. Saturday was probably one of the best nights of my life. Yeah, we spent about probably 15 to 16 hours with these guys straight, and the cap to that night, you don't what happened in that at the end of that night does not happen anywhere on this planet, and I strongly believe that. So it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It was amazing, and I'll never forget it. That's damn sure. Sorry about the sniffling and stuff. I got a cold I'm trying to battle, so don't take it don't get too personal with me about it. One thing I would like to address, though, last podcast with Mr. Joshua Hayden, the Fields Clothing owner, I had my mom, some family reach out to me. Like, why are you cussing so much? And looking back on the video, I did use curse words a little too much during that. Honestly, it's very disappointing, because I do look at myself or value a characteristic of mine as being, articulate and creative with words. And I feel like curse words like that at that volume it's a very lazy way of communicating. So I apologize to you guys about that. Not to say that I won't cuss or that I don't cuss, but in that instance, I feel like I could have pulled the reins back a little bit more and been a little more creative and not so lazy with my words in that conversation. But regardless of that, I really do think that was one of the greater interviews we have pulled off. I think the in-person aspect to the interview was a game changer, and I really want to start tuning my interviews that way. Because when you get that personal communication, when you get that person in the room, you can feed off their energy and kind of see their facial expressions, and it's a lot more easy just as a human communicating to another human to do it in person. So I think that's why there was a lot of value in that last interview. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, and not to say that I didn't enjoy every minute of the other interviews, but I think there was something unique and special about it. And I think a lot of that came from the personal connection, and just along with Mr. Hayden being an amazing guy, great conversationist. So yeah, last podcast, a lot of cursing, a little lazy, but we're working on it, right? This is a learning experience. This podcast in general, man, it's been a ride. It's been a ride of human communication, articulation of my thoughts and words and feelings, and yeah, it's been a journey, and I feel like it helped me out a lot. What else is going on, man? News: the Iditarod started today. That is like a 18 to 13 day race. Probably one of the most primitive things we still have. I mean, that's real primal out there. You're talking negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit with wind chill. And these guys are running through the damn snow with 16 dogs carrying them, camping out in the middle of these snowstorms. I think it's pretty crazy that we still have that going on while Elon Musk is coming up with like Teslas, and we have spaceships relaunching and landing, and we're going to Mars, and we still have these dudes running through snow with dogs. But I do appreciate and admire the primitive aspect of all that. And I hope those dudes have a lot of meat with them, because I feel like when you get that meat in your mouth, it really does. It gets a little primal, right? It gets a little limbic. So if these guys have some sausage, bacon, maybe some chicken breasts, that might help them out there. Because I feel like when you get those things in your mouth, naturally you just we're getting into the limbic zone of the brain, where you're just a predator, and I feel like you need that out there. What else? What was it? Tekashi 6ix9ine. If you guys don't know, this man was on trial for a pretty serious amount of crimes and a pretty serious amount of time in the rig. And because he was able to snitch and give an insane amount of information for these guys, he is actually not going to jail, and he is going into, what would they call it? Protective custody. He's going into a witness protection program. And all I have to say is good luck. Because this man has a 69 in Old English tattooed on his fucking cheek. How the hell are you going to hide this man? He has 6ix9ine. He has a sexual innuendo tattooed on his right cheek. He's not going to work at Denny's. I can tell you that. Is this guy going to come? You need an extremely elongated eye patch if this man is going to go anywhere in public, because you ain't hiding that, brother. And there's a lot of people that want him dead. So, I mean, is this man going to work at a car wash? Like, no, I just don't see it. I don't see where it's going to go. I will say this. If there's any chance Mr. Tekashi 6ix9ine gets through this witness protection program successfully, there needs to be a tattoo removal joint in the place he's staying. Wherever that home base is, there needs to be a tattoo removal service, and they need to have the equipment for it, because that man ain't going anywhere with 69 in Old English tattooed on his freaking cheek, man. So, I mean, good luck, man. Good luck out there, because that's wild, and there's a lot of violent people that want that man in the grave. So, yeah, I want to bring it back to the whole graduate school thing. So, I got into Arizona State University, and I am ecstatic because I'm going to have the opportunity to study in the field of astrobiology. While my PhD title is not going to be astrobiology, the research I'm going to be doing is astrobiology, which is good for me, because as amazing as it would be to have the title astrobiologist, if I go through this filter of the PhD system and come out with the astrobiology title, I have a very narrow focus. Right? There's only a certain amount of jobs that I can get in astrobiology, compared to if I go through that PhD filter and get that, environmental life sciences PhD, my opportunity widens up quite significantly and gives me a lot of options, while it doesn't limit my ability to get into a job regarding astrobiology. So, amazingly excited for that. Right now, my research is looking to be on diatoms, or unicellular organisms, in Antarctica. So, the importance of this is that there are ice structures in Antarctica that resemble that of Europa, or a moon on Jupiter. So, with similar ice structures, right? We have the same physics and chemistry that spans across our solar system and universe. We would suspect that those structures would have the same life harnessing capabilities. So, what the plan is right now is that I'm going to be going and investigating these environments, looking at these organisms and seeing how they could survive in a place like Europa, because there are some significant differences between the Antarctic here on Earth and those sub-zero temperatures below icy waters in Europa. One of them being light, right? There's a lot less light out there. They're a lot farther from the sun. So, yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. And I mean, my visit there went so good. And I hate to be cocky about it or sound condescending, but I feel like I knew I was going to get accepted into that university, because every single conversation I had with the professor there was extremely genuine. And it just felt right. It didn't feel like I was getting interviewed. It felt like I was talking to a nerd buddy of mine. And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible, and it felt so good and genuine that when I left there, I just had a good feeling. And it's nice to see that that gut feeling came to fruition this morning, and just excited for all that, man. All the opportunity that we have there. All the opportunity. So, yeah, right now it's looking like I'm going to be living in Tempe, Arizona for probably the next 5 to 6 years. So, I'm going to be moving the studio to wherever I live there. Hopefully, I can ramp it up a little bit so it'll look a lot cooler, a little more professional. I can get some cool stuff that matches my personality. Not that this room doesn't. I really do think this is kind of what I am, but I'd like to get a little more creative with it to get a second shot at it. Of course, I'd bring some of this stuff back, but yeah, I mean, I don't have much else. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. This next weekend, I am going to be interviewing Dr. Charles Cockle. This book right here, The Equations of Life, How Physics Shapes Evolution, is very, very astronomical. It's amazing. It's amazing. And there's a lot of moments in this book where I'll read something and just have to close it and really sit by myself for a while and kind of dive deep into what's going on and what kind of connections are being made, because I really do think that this book is absolutely incredible in describing the natural world in a very analytical way, and that's how my brain operates. And yeah, there's nothing like it. Sean Carroll had a lot of good things to say about the book. So yeah, there's that right there. If you guys want to read up on that, The Equations of Life, How Physics Shapes Evolution, Charles Cockle. And I actually want to talk to you guys about this because this is a crazy experience. So I went to Edinburgh, Scotland for a conference. So I was organizing a bunch of people from across the world to facilitate this discussion on how to create an environmental organization in a university setting. And while I was there, I was right at the brink of my interest in astrobiology. I got a little obsessive and started researching the university around to see, well, maybe there's someone I can talk to about that at this university. And what I found was there was one professor of astrobiology that did research that was very similar to that of my interests. And his name was Dr. Cockle. And I found his office. So you'd think that I probably sent him an email. But here's the deal. I didn't send him an email on purpose because a lot of the times these professors don't reply, or they do reply saying they're too busy, and I didn't want to risk it. So I'm not going to send him an email. I'm going to bet on him being there, and we're just going to roll the dice on this one. So I print off a cover letter for this guy, resumes. I have like 4 of them. I have like a nice pamphlet, and I'm all dressed up in this suit from the conference. And I show up to his building, and I walk in there, and he's in there. And I asked him if he had a minute to talk, and he was like, yeah, I have 5 minutes. Actually, if you would have been here any later, I probably wouldn't have been in my office. So right there, absolutely incredible. I travel halfway across the globe, show up to this guy's office, and I was 5 minutes away from not getting the opportunity. And we sit down and we talk about astrobiology and my interest in where I want to be and my career goals. And this is the first time I actually had an interest in astrobiology, so my knowledge on the subject and that path was very naive. And he was super helpful and just a genuine person. And one of the most amazing conversations with him. And not only did he give me this book for free, I'll put it up one more time. I know I'm probably just like, I'm probably spamming that a little bit, but not only did he give me this book for free, but he gave me an insane amount of connections at NASA Ames Research Center in California, where I got to talk to Dr. Chris McKay, who's just an amazing scientist up there, very renowned in the astrobiology community, especially that NASA setting, and Tori Holder, another worker of his, who helped me out immensely and are probably one of the bigger reasons that I'm actually able to join this astrobiology team at Arizona State. So yeah, I mean, like it's opportunities like that, and I think there's a lot of value in a story like that because it shows that you just got to take a leap. Like, I didn't know if he was gonna be there. I could have just sat in my hotel room while I was in Edinburgh, or just walked around and enjoyed that Harry Potter like city. But I saw an opportunity, and when I jumped for it, there just happened to be a ledge that stuck out right in time. So I think that holds a lot of value for people. And I think it's important. I think a lot of people need to take more jumps. because I think the internet provides us a lot of helpful tools, right? I was able to find his pretty much stalk the guy. I was able to find his office, find his email, find his information, write a cover letter for him, and show up to that office. And luckily, he was there. So, yeah, stuff like that's special, man. Stuff like that is really special. So yeah, I'm really excited for that interview. I'm rereading that book. I got markers all over it because there's just too much. You guys probably can't see it. Yeah, I mean, there's one. There's just so many quotes and valuable stuff in here that really just like makes me go, ooh, that's big. That's real big. So yeah, I might keep it a little short today. I just kind of wanted to update everyone on what was going on. Just some amazing stuff. Getting ready to graduate undergrad here soon, and it looks like we're going to be moving to Arizona. So I'm still waiting on other offers from other schools before I make my decision. But I loved it down there, man. I loved it so much down there, and yeah, it's going good. It's going good. So, I appreciate everybody hanging out, and with that being said, guys, we'll put a little outro track on here. I'd like to play that song again, maybe. See where we can go with it. Let's get a little deep in there this time, though.
I rest my head, though I did not try my best. Mother, may I sip the wine, though I did not tend the vine.
Make sure you guys are tuning in next week for that interview. It should be on Saturday, so we'll probably go live Sunday unless I have an insane amount of time Saturday night.
Oh, death, but you can't comfort me. Well, devil, I do have your name stuck in my ear, and I